How do you like stem apples? My name's David Stevens with my buddy.
Dr. Brad Miller.
Yeah, that's right. So I teach math at Osawatomie High School, and you teach chemistry where?
Kearney High School.
Now, you might say that it's Kearney, but it's spelled Kearney.
For having lived in two different Kearneys, I think I know what I'm talking about. Man.
So my son is 7, and he comes with me in the mornings and hangs out before school, and he's passionate about YouTube Kids on my phone. He wants to watch my phone, and so as any good math teacher would, I have to make him do math problems before we get there.
You gotta earn it. You gotta earn it.
Yeah. So Louis, come here, bud. Tell Dr. Miller, tell him what your math assignment was this morning.
It is to make a circle, make a diameter, and to make a radius.
He had to construct a circle, diameter, and a radius. How do you think he did?
I can only see the bottom right now. The top. Hey, there we go.
Did he get it?
The circle, got diameter and radius.
Yeah. Dr. Miller says you passed. There you go. Good job, dude.
For me, I need to see a measurement with the correct sig figs.
You can take those sig figs and go kick rocks. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
My son, they sent home for their math part. They showed that they were making their own rulers at school.
Mm.
And so some pictures, I'm like, ooh, do I tell him I'm proud of him if he doesn't have the correct sig figs when he gives me measurements?
Right. Like, where do I hold his standards, right?
When should I tell him the truth?
Like, are we like AP track, or like, where am I at with it?
Oh man,
that's great. Hey, so my world at school has just kept getting rocked and rocked and rocked. I'm doing really good with my classes. I'm ahead of the curve. I'm doing the best I've ever done, I think. I'm as prepared as I could possibly be on a daily basis. I got the kids going bell to bell, hitting all of my standards in each lesson. And I'm just like, when is the other shoe going to drop? That kind of a thing. Like, when does it fan, I'm just, man, I had a wild week, and we're gonna have to shuffle around some classes here at this school, and I was handed calculus on Wednesday. So I'm teaching geometry. I've got 5 sections of geometry and 1 algebra 1, so I have the entire sophomore class and 1 of the freshman classes. And Wednesday, it was like, here's calculus, go. And I hopped in midstream, and I'm trying to catch up. Where are you guys? What are you doing? How do I? So I have been in this book hours a night, and really just coming up with how do I do this? How do I want to teach calculus? And it was crazy. Usually you have a whole summer to prepare for a class.
Yeah.
I had 4 minutes Wednesday. I had 4 minutes, and I decided to use my 4 minutes of prep time to go to the bathroom because I was nervous.
Well, there's some priorities in that.
Right, exactly. I'd rather do it then than with the kids in class, right? Even though cool kids do pee their pants.
They do. They're not cool unless you pee your pants.
So I gave an impromptu lecture on limits, and then I dove into the book, and I shocked myself because I went in order the way the book went. I was like, well, I guess we have our starting point.
There you go.
It was so cool. I was like, this is great. Like I felt like home, I don't know if that makes sense, but it just felt so right. It felt so good. Yeah, so there's a little bit of shuffling going on, and we're managing the tides,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm sitting here thinking back, okay, calculus. If you asked me, came in and said, you got to teach calculus next hour, that's a good 15 years ago.
Right. Right.
Like,
2012 is when I had my last calc lecture in class.
mine would have been 2005. So, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
even,
Yeah.
like,
You would, yeah. 18 years ago. That's tough.
yes.
That's real tough. Oh man.
You
There's
could
kids
say I've reached,
graduating high school that
yeah,
were born after the last time you took.
you could say I probably reached the limit of what I could do on that.
Hey, there it is. There it is. It does
Just
not
get started
exist.
for the day on that one.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So what I'm learning, so my big teacher takeaway for the week, like I'm learning that I can only control what I can control.
Ooh, good one.
And that's really difficult. I know with my students, I tell them all the time, especially when they get really frustrated or amped up or excited or whatever, I just try and reiterate, you know, you can only control what you can control. You can't control what other people say to you. You can't control what other people do to you. You can only control what you can control and be the best at it. And this weekend I kept trying to take control of things that were outside of my control. And that was really difficult. You know, trying to find the balance between advocating for my students and doing my job has been a challenge. But I woke up this morning I just had this sense of calm, like I can only control what I control. That's what I tell my students. That's what I need to do that. So I feel great.
Sometimes it's hard to take our own advice on that. Of like, we're telling the students, do this. Well, you're not, but no, you do it. I'll worry about myself.
Yeah, there's a reason why I'm not a millionaire and you're going to be, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, so it's been yeah. I'm really excited about that. So how was your homecoming week? How did it go? I want to know all about it.
It was good, really good. You know, towards the end of the week, you're kind of like, this has been the longest week of my life.
Yeah.
But it's been a great week. And so we have, once you get past Thursday, it's kind of like, all right, we've reached that point, because for us, we do a half day on Friday with a parade and everything.
Right.
So the 12-minute classes on Friday were kind of a welcome time. And that's actually when I introduced my crystal growing competition. So we'll see how many of them actually
nice
partake this year. I'm hoping for some good numbers.
When's the deadline on that?
What did we say? It was, they're supposed to, they had to sign up for materials by, I think, today or tomorrow. But the crystal growing itself doesn't start till the 16th.
Oh, okay. But I could still sign up even if my chem teacher has her own stuff, right?
I believe so.
Like I don't have to use his materials.
No, I know. I usually just purchase in bulk since I know the company he uses.
Yeah. We talked about your kilos last week.
Yep, my kilos. There we go.
The kids at Harmon would say you're pushing weight.
Yeah.
And that might be old news at this point. That might just be like I'm showing my age.
Yes.
On how hip I am. I am one jive turkey.
Oh, no, but then I don't know about you, but Friday, like for me, when we get to Friday for homecoming, it's always like, hey, it's a little bit of calm. However, it's not that I dread the assembly. It's because I'm always nervous.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain teachers that they always pull out of the woodwork to participate.
Yes.
And so you always get a little nervous Friday morning as you're like, okay, do I know my routine? Do I know what I'm doing? So,
right.
And then once you do whatever
Wait,
it is.
Did you have to perform?
Yes. Myself along with 3 other teachers, we brought back the Backstreet Boys.
Oh no. Backstreet's back. Oh no.
That's kind of what it was, you know.
Okay, yeah.
However, got some good ovations. So
yeah, that's good.
And hearing some good feedback. So if
I
it's
haven't, it hasn't gone viral enough to hit our school, so I think you're safe.
thank goodness.
Yeah. We did a riff off at our assembly. We did one of those riff off things from Pitch Perfect,
Oh yes.
where like on the fly you have to think of songs that contain a certain word, whatever word they come up with. And it was like the freshman class versus the sophomores, juniors, seniors, and staff.
Oh,
And so as staff members, we were like, we have this. Like we are like, I mean, I don't want to brag or anything, but I've been around a while. I've heard a lot of music. So there were times where we had to reach into lullabies. Rockabye Baby, I think, saved us at one point in time. Lots of Michael Jackson, which I don't know, but I can hum the words
yeah.
as good as possible.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, but it was so cool, man. It was a lot of fun, and we ended up winning and beat the juniors. Oh, it felt so good.
Oh yes.
Our Powder Puff team, by the way, like, okay, I'll put our sophomore girl Powder Puff team up against anybody in the Quad State area. That's no lie. These girls, they're fierce. Like after watching them, I kind of want to like put together a rec league Powder Puff team just because I know they would absolutely crush anybody that went up against them. These girls they won their freshman year, they won last year. Like,
oh,
I'm impressed.
Are we talking dynasty now?
I mean, they're probably going to go 4-0. They're easily going to go 4-0. Looking at the competition around them, I think they've got it. Do y'all have Powder Puff at your school?
Yes, that was actually last Wednesday, and
okay.
This is the first year in a couple years I haven't had to ref it. So
there you go. Very good.
Becoming a senior sponsor, you get to kind of come out of that role.
Right.
So yeah, we're just at that. Finally, the festivities are done. Now it's going to be the challenge of, all right, we're back.
Yep.
Let's drag you back into this mindset here. We have like 2-3 weeks before conferences are coming. So we have that early October long stretch.
Yeah. And I appreciate that you call it a long stretch. For me, it seems like we've got the iron hot. Like we got the kids kind of in that point where we're ready to start really molding minds, and we're ready to start, molding those kids. And I'm thinking about, the 2 or 3 stragglers that I need to pick up, that I need to, encourage a little bit more to lock it in. But for the most part, it's taken the whole unit and let's raise it just a little bit. We have that 2 or 3 week stretch where we can really do some good molding and mending.
Oh, definitely. And
it's like an opportunity, I just feel like this is an opportunity and I don't want to waste it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just, you've had that week of homecoming's over. You got them back in the groove. Now you're running on the ground.
Yeah.
That's I want to be there next week.
Yeah. Well, my groove got severely interrupted. I was giving somebody an analogy in the calculus class that I just took over, and they felt like everything was starting to pass them by, like it had gone real slow and now I'm in there. So now it's going to go real fast. And I said, I feel like it's kind of like surfing might feel. You want to get ahead of the wave. You want to be ahead of the wave, and you want to let the wave push you through. What you don't want to be doing is behind the wave trying to paddle up and catch up, because that's a fool's errand. That really is. And you really don't want to wait until next year for another wave. And right now you're ahead of the wave, and I will do everything I can to keep you there. And I've got that sense ever since I said that analogy. I've just kind of been feeling this push right behind me, like, hey man, it's here. It's here. You've done really good. You've positioned yourself really well these first 6 weeks, 6-8 weeks, however long it's been. You've positioned yourself really well. Now it's like put up or shut up time, right? Like it's almost like make or break week for me. I feel like where I can continue to step up my game, continue to keep the kids with the ball rolling. And I get to end on Friday. I am flying to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I got a weekend with my brother.
Ooh,
Yes.
that's gonna be enjoyable.
I am so excited to take 2 days off. I'm going to be in the Santa Fe Farmers Market on Saturday morning, picking up whatever I want to eat that day. Just eating fresh with my brother, cooking out on the grill, and just a couple of dudes and being guys.
That's gonna be awesome.
I can't wait. I really can't wait. It's going to be good. I feel like this is the perfect time to take a pause, put everything aside for 48 hours, recharge, and then get back at it.
Oh yeah. And you know what? We need those things because otherwise, that's when you start noticing you're in kind of not say robot mode, but you're just in autopilot, and then that wave starts to catch up and you pass you up there.
Yeah, and you don't want to go into you don't want to get it. You start getting an autopilot. You don't want to phone anything in. Kids deserve better than that.
Oh yeah.
My guy. Dude. Any upsets in your bracket this week? Last couple weeks?
The last couple ones, no. The biggest one was Marie Curie being taken out.
Right.
Other than that, it's been a little, but according to plan. I've had a couple of the present day chemists are ones that I don't know which way they're going to go. So
right,
I can't really call it an upset because I don't know. I had them ranked how I thought, but it's just we'll see.
Dude, you need to know Johann Kepler, who did the laws of planetary motion and basically set up Isaac Newton.
Yeah.
Beat out David Hilbert in a 14-3 matchup.
Ooh.
Which I was absolutely blown away by. Carl Gauss was the number 1 seed who lost to a 16 in Kurt Gödel. Lagrange held steady and he won his against Richard Dedekind. And that's been the only other upset. So I've had 2 upsets. I've had Johann Kepler take over David Hilbert, and I've had Kurt Gödel take over Carl Gauss.
Okay.
So it's been kind of interesting. What I love is that the bio that I do for Kurt Gödel talks about he was a little boy wonder and always asking why. So he was little Mr. Why when he was growing up. Why is that? Which is annoying that my daughter does that, but we celebrate Kurt Gödel. And I'm going. And then his the Gödel's incompleteness theorem. Do you know what that is by chance?
No.
So in his time in the early 1930s, there was this idea that mathematics was complete. Everything had a proof. All things in mathematics could have a proof. And Kurt Gödel was really thinking through this, and he was like, well, I'm going to devise a system, an algorithm, basically, where I can I can prove anything through a series of numbers. And it was this really interesting, really wild idea. And then he went through and he started proving things, and every mathematical statement had a unique string of digits. Well, he gets to this idea that he goes, this statement has no proof. And so, if you prove it to be true, then you're proving that the statement has no proof, but you proved a proof for it to be. And then if it's proved to not be true, then the statement that has no proof, that doesn't have a proof, then becomes true. And it's this really sweet, paradox in this mind game. You're just like, what is going on? And so, it's kitschy. It's easy for kids to understand. So of course that totally beat out Carl Gauss.
Yes.
He likes to prove mathematics. And so, Carl Gauss is probably like, everybody who ever takes, linear algebra is just, it can thank Carl Gauss for all that work. So it's just kind of interesting. That Kurt Gödel has a cool paradox, and then Carl Gauss, who like is responsible for a huge chunk of modern mathematics. It just like, nah,
Yeah,
not you. You're
whatever.
boring.
Yep. Well, that kind of happens with what my last matchup was Sir Humphrey Davy versus Amadeo Avogadro. Well, if you're ever to look up Amadeo Avogadro, he does not have a very appealing picture.
Okay.
So I always, whenever I pull it up, there's a pictures, and everybody's always like,
Oh.
and so he loses votes, even though he is the person that is responsible for the mole, which is
Oh, wow.
a
Okay.
major concept to us.
Right. That is a humongous concept.
Yeah, but then it's like he looks like an avocado, or actually, it was
It
determined.
looks like an avocado. Is he a bald cycloptic fella?
Oh, you need to look him up when you get a chance.
Okay. Well, now
Um,
I'm really curious.
Otherwise the common theme is he looks like the villain from Rio, which I have not seen Rio. I need to go watch that. My kids never got into Rio,
No,
so
Oh my. Oh my. Really?
yep.
Oh man.
So
I feel like he now this is Italy 1776. So we're like, honestly, I just feel like he had a daddy uncle grandpa. Grandpa dad. That's what he looks like to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he usually does not win, but he's also one that is very well known amongst our students, and it's like
Right.
we just can't look at that for next round.
Yeah. And I see that he does indeed look like an avocado. That's
Yes.
hysterical. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So the other thing I'm looking forward to is this is Nobel week.
Oh yeah.
And so on Wednesday is always going to be the chemistry one. And I want to see if any of my present day ones will be in their last time on the present day and would have to shift over to Nobel's in their in the future.
Yeah, that's cool. I like
So
that.
there's a couple of names on that list that may potentially have it. Some
Yeah.
more than others, but we'll see.
That is so cool. That's really neat. I didn't even know there was Nobel week. So the
Yep.
guy who invented the mole, what is the mole? What's the weight of the mole? I believe. What is it?
Well, it's 6.02 times 10 to the
Right.
23rd.
So
Bing.
last year on June 2nd would have been the biggest mole day ever, right?
No, Mole Day is
February
actually,
2nd, February 6th. What is it?
they go, what we do is at 6:02 a.m. on October 23rd.
October 23rd.
Is the 10 to the
Oh,
23rd. So yeah.
I gotcha. Yeah. It used to be a big deal at our school with the last chem teacher that was here had a big deal. He even crowned a mole king and queen, and they had a whole like science day at like 5 o'clock in the morning with donuts and stuff. Like it was a big deal. I wonder if they're gonna do that again. Are you gonna do that?
We usually don't do too much with it because the way we progress, our chemistry students don't get to the mole until second semester.
That's fair.
And that's the hard part is getting them excited about Mole Day, which we could do something. It's just it has never been on our radar here. And,
Yeah, it doesn't land with the
and by the time once I started here, COVID kind of knocked out everything, so we couldn't get together anyway, and so other things have had taken priority. And
right,
so
right.
it's something that you should probably do, but at the same time, my chemistry students will be like, the what day?
Why are we doing this day?
No
You want me to
animals.
get in at what time? Like I don't.
Yeah,
I'm a hard pass. I'm a hard pass for something I don't even know anything about.
Exactly.
Nah, I'm a no. All right, my guy. Let's do it.
All right.
I hope you have a wonderful week. I'm excited to hear how your week after homecoming goes, and we'll keep plugging away at this thing. We got several people on the horizon for potential to join us. So I like the work that we've been doing in that regard. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll get we'll have somebody new joining us.
That'd be great.
Yeah. All right, man. If anybody wants to get a hold of us, how do they do it?
How do you like STEM apples at gmail.com?
Woo!
Boop.